Eddie, are you going to give us an exclusive today and tell us that the Joshua Usyk fight is almost done?
I'll tell you, what can I tell you? I can tell you that I believe this week we will confirm, and this is a lot more of a confident footing now, looking back over the Joshua Fury negotiations, because I know Alex Krasik very well and I know Team Usyk very well. This week, that fight will be signed, I believe, for Joshua Usyk. We're looking at September in London for that fight. Just finalising all the details with Alex Krasik now. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. It's a dangerous fight. It's not the one that we necessarily wanted. It's not the one that we were necessarily expecting. But it is, let's be honest, it's a high-level heavyweight fight. It's the unified world heavyweight champion against the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. And on we go with that fight. It's going to be a big event.
Wow, I got to give you guys credit, because somehow I had thought that fight was not going to happen. I thought maybe Anthony Joshua wanted to fight somebody else.
Give AJ the credit. And I think I always bang on the drum about this young man willing to fight everybody. And I bore everyone from the Klitschko fight when he boxed Takam, and then Parker, and then Povetkin, and then Ruiz, and then Pulev, and now Usyk. This is an incredible run.
Yeah, Barack, why did you think AJ wouldn't want to fight Usyk?
Just the way everybody was, well, it's really just Eddie, and the way he was answering questions, it felt like Joshua wanted to fight somebody else. Like he wasn't really moved by Usyk. So I don't know, I was thinking that. But
what it was, Barack, it was more like all the time not having anywhere to breathe. Like, we wanted to fight Fury so badly, and then when everything was terrible timing really from the WBO, and they were just doing their job. When it was like, okay, this is falling through. Oh, here's a letter. Right, Mr. Joshua, this is what you're doing next.
Oh yeah, being forced to. Yeah.
You know. So, but I think once he got his head around the fact that, no, it's my obligation as a champion, and I want to be the undisputed champion, so I have to keep defending my belt with honor against whoever that might be. And this is one of the most dangerous fights out there for him.
Hey, Eddie, I want to touch on something. We talked about this last week, right? We all know that the allegations that Wilder were putting out against Fury were a bit bizarre. But what if some of these things are true and their proof is brought forward? Like, how do we handle the situation? I'm saying, nobody's looked at it from that perspective.
I mean, if you've ever been in, and you guys have, a dressing room at a fight, particularly in the Nevada state, like, I don't see how you can tamper with your glove or your wraps from the moment they're wrapped up in the dressing room to the ring. Now, you're talking about claiming he slid his hands down, and to be honest with you, I also don't see how sliding your hand down the glove is actually going to give you an edge when you punch someone. I mean, I would think it would actually break your hand, right? If your hand's not properly in your glove. So, I don't know. I mean, knowing Bob Bennett and knowing his official, I see it's impossible to tamper with a glove.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I think it's true. I'm just speaking for other people that might think so, or if it did come out that way.
But what baffles me more, do you think that fight happens on July 24th?
I think so. I think it's very possible. But listen, here's something that is really supposed to happen. We really want to happen even more so than that, and that's Caleb Plant versus Canelo. Now, is there any updates on there? Because I kind of feel like, Plant wants to fight on a different network. You've been kind of like already trying to make it easier for us to understand that it's really not about the networks. We just want to make the fight. So I think DAZN's going to really, really want that fight, obviously. But are you willing to just go to another network just to make the fight for Plant, to make him happy, even though Canelo's the A side?
Well, that's a decision for Saul, ultimately. What my job is to do is to, this week, along with Saul Canelo Alvarez, make an offer to Caleb Plant to do that fight on DAZN. It's not this is where the fight's happening, take it or leave it. It's let's have a discussion about the numbers that are in play for both fighters, okay? So what we will do is we will make an offer to Caleb Plant through the PBC to do that fight in September. I expect a reciprocal offer for Saul Canelo Alvarez to do that fight on Fox. What I'm very concerned about at the moment is the run of pay-per-view events that are upcoming. I believe that pay-per-view is going, the numbers in terms of pay-per-view buyers, and pay-per-view will always exist, are going to start getting massively affected by the saturation in the marketplace of pay-per-views, right? So last night you had a pay-per-view. Next week you have Teofimo against Kambosos on Triller. Wow, that's going to be a tough sell. Then coming up the week after that, you have Gervonta Davis against Barros. Now, as big a star as Gervonta Davis is, my goodness, is that a tough sell. Then, possibly, a couple of weeks later, you've got Fury against Wilder. Then you've got Pacquiao against Spence 3 weeks after that. Then 1 week after that, you've got Jake Paul against Woodley. And then the week after that, you want to do Canelo Alvarez against Caleb Plant. I'm very, very concerned about pay-per-view numbers in general, right? So what I'm saying is, let's look at the offers. But ultimately, wherever Canelo Alvarez decides that he's comfortable taking that fight, we will support him 100%. We would love to do the fight on DAZN, but there's no network politics here from our side. We'll look at the offers, and he's the boss. He will decide where he wants to take that fight. But that's the fight we want. We hope Caleb Plant feels the same. I believe he does.
So is it safe to say that Canelo is going to continue to work with Matchroom? Is there another long-term deal that you're offering Canelo Alvarez and his team?
Well, we have a quite a big announcement this week coming with a new partnership with Canelo across all kinds of stuff, not just his own career. And we have a great relationship. He's asked me to work on putting this Plant fight into place. I believe we're going to work together for a long time. He's made that clear in his public statements as well. We're looking at a number of projects together. It's all very exciting, but I'm just focused on this next fight. That's what he's asked me to deliver, is the undisputed fight. That's what he wants. And we'll work to the best of our ability to make sure the right deal is in place with him, to make sure he's well represented across all areas of that fight. And, he wants to go and make history. So we can make the fight.
Well, hopefully we can bring that fight to the zone. But nevertheless, we just want the fight to happen for sure. All right, thanks, Eddie. Appreciate the time as always. We'll chop it up next week.
Cheers, guys. Take care.